Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. I'm Ambrose, and I'm super excited to have you guys here today. We have an insightful session, planned, and it's focused on strategies and essential strategies for successful trading. I'll walk you through the steps to build a profitable trading plan. I'll also show you how to identify lucrative opportunities in the market and master risk management like a seasoned pro. Now, we're going to give 1 or 2 minutes for a lot other people to join us today and join the live stream. But while we do that, you can let me know in the chat your name and where you're watching me from. So you can go ahead and let me know in the chat your name and where you're watching me from. Now, whether you're a beginner trader, or you're already on your trading journey, there is something valuable for you in this session. We'll discuss how to select and balance assets to achieve long-term success. So if you're here, welcome, get ready to learn, engage, and take your trading skills to the next level. All right, a quick disclaimer, guys. Any opinion, news, research, prices, analysis, or other information discussed in this training or linked to this presentation is provided as a general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. I'm trying to check the comment section to see if I can see your comments. Guys, give me a second. Okay. The comments are coming in now. All right, just a little bit of an introduction about myself. My name is Ambrose Ebuka. I have 5 years of trading experience, and I've honed my trading proficiency and contrived various profitable strategies that includes swing and scalp trading. I majorly analyze gold, GBP JPY, and GBP USD charts with an outstanding accuracy exceeding 85%, and I regularly backtest these trading strategies for effectiveness. All right, guys, we have Akila from Adamawa. Welcome. Becky Texas is coming from meditation and I should teach him how to trade. Well, if you're here and this is your first time, taking part in an Octa live trading session or generally an Octa webinar, we teach a lot, mainly how to navigate through the Forex market. We teach a lot of things, psychology, and also how you can analyze the market before trading, look at the economic involvements with the market, how you can open an order, the fundamentals, the technicals, the methods of opening and closing orders in real time. And that's what you're going to learn today. Steps of trading the markets. If you have questions already and you're in the journey towards becoming a profitable trader, you can always ask your questions in the chat. But by the end of this session, I strongly believe that if you came without any knowledge, you would have more knowledge that you need to stay profitable in the market. And if you came with knowledge, you'd also have more knowledge than the one you have to stay profitable in the Forex market. Again, guys, if you have any questions, we're going to get to the Q&A session where I answer your questions. I'd also ask you some questions. So very important that you stay active in the session and also in the chat as well. Welcome, everybody. The agenda for today, we're going to first check the economic calendar. I'll discuss the ZapZone strategy, which is a strategy that I use, and then we'll review the DXY, which is the dollar index. If you don't know what it means, and more reasons why you should stick around, because I'll be explaining in detail what the dollar index is, which is a very major instrument that you can use if you're trading currencies that are paired with the US dollar. So very important that you stick around. I'll also explain the index correlation with other pairs, right? So if you trade GBP USD, Euro USD, USD JPY, gold, this session is for you. All right, so make sure you stick around. I would also be revealing a promo code at the end of this session that would give you a 100%. I was going to say 50, but it's actually 100. A 100% bonus on your deposit. So stick around and enjoy the session. Okay, this session is going to last for about 45 minutes. And like I said, use the YouTube live chat to ask your questions during the webinar. I'm constantly looking at the comment section and the live chat to see if you guys have questions. I'll periodically check them out and also answer them as well. Kinsley from Lagos, very enthusiastic to learn. That's awesome. Kizito from Uganda, welcome, guys. The beautiful thing about the learning process, or the educational process of trading is whatever point you think you are right now, a profitable trader or a successful trader was once at that point, right? So when you get the chance to participate in live trading sessions like this, webinars like this from the experts, take advantage of them. Don't take them for granted, and always make sure that you learned something. All right. So if this is your first time or not your first time, welcome everybody. I'm going to go over the strategy that I use, and it's very important because when I go to the charts and I start analyzing, you would understand better if you just understand what the strategy is all about, what kind of traders it's for, and how you can use it. All right. So this is an important part of this introduction to the trading session, and I want you all to pay attention to this session. All right. So what does this strategy consist of? The strategy that I use to analyze the market: understanding market structure, identifying key levels, predetermining your entry and your exit points, and also risk management. Now, if you don't know what the strategy is, it's called the ZapZone strategy. It's basically a zone trading strategy. I just give it the name ZapZone because, when it gets to the zone, you zap and you potentially make a profit. But zone trading generally in Forex trading involves being able to identify specific price zones on a chart where the price is likely to react or reverse. Basically. Now, these zones are typically based on historical support and resistance levels, supply and demand zones, Fibonacci retracement, trend lines, or other indicators like the moving average, which I use, and you're also going to see on the chart. Now, the concept or the idea is to focus on opportunities within these key levels, right? Yes, there are opportunities after the bounce or in between, but the idea of the ZapZone strategy or zone trading is to focus on how the markets react and identify opportunities within these key levels. Okay, so the first step, which is obviously we have 4 steps here. The first step would be for you to understand market structure. By understanding market structure, you're able to read the candlestick chart, you're able to identify patterns, identify trends, supply and demand zones, and ranges, because the market is not always going to trend, right? The market can trend, sometimes it could consolidate or range. Okay, but the idea is that you're able to come to the chart without having to draw any lines, and you're able to understand if this is an uptrend or a downtrend or a ranging market. And you're only going to be able to do that if you identify higher highs and higher lows, lower highs and lower lows in the charts. Okay, so first you want to understand market structure. Then secondly, the second thing you want to do is to identify key levels, right? What are these key levels? When I go to the charts, you'll see a lot of lines that I use: horizontal lines, trend lines, moving average. Guys, when you go out there and you watch most of the videos that are out there, you see different complicating strategies in the market. But what I'm going to tell you guys is these tools that are provided for you are provided for a reason, right? Most traders can come into the market and just decide to buy, sell, no analysis, just maybe based off fundamental news or so on and so forth, right? But think about it. There are a lot of tools in the market, and the tools that are in the market serve a purpose. So it's not just something that you want to come into the market, you want to learn how to trade, you want to be a profitable trader, and then you want to ignore these tools, right? The horizontal line was created for a reason. The trend lines, these tools are created for a reason, and you can use them to your advantage or disadvantage, but mostly you're looking forward to look at to use it to your advantage, right? So that's what you want to do. That's why you shouldn't ignore these trend lines, these tools that are being created for you. So identify key levels by using the horizontal lines and trend lines. When I go to the charts, you'll also see how I use them. The moving average as well, trading the moving average, break and bounce, Fibonacci support and resistance levels as well. These are the things that would make up key levels. Key levels are just significant levels where the market makes multiple retests, okay? The third thing is to predetermine your entry and your exit points. Now, I know some of you would wonder why this is included in the strategy. It's included because this is an all-encompassing strategy, right? It doesn't just cover what you should do on the chart. It also covers how you should do it and when you should do it. And that's a pretty good strategy for me, because before I execute the trade, I'm able to identify where I want to enter and where I want to exit. And my exit is not just in profit. I also look at exits based on risk. Exits based on, oh, if the market goes against me, how many pips and how much would I be risking? Guys, in the market, that's the thing you can control. You can control how much you want to risk. You can't necessarily control how much you want to make because you don't move the market, right? But you can control how much you want to risk. And that leads me to talk about risk management, which is also included in the strategy as well. You know, your stop loss and take profit. You can use swing highs and swing lows if you're in the lower time frames. If you're in the higher time frames, you can use the ATR indicator, the average true range. Very good indicator for beginners to identify areas of stop loss as well. But as time goes on, you tend to look at more of the swing highs, the swing lows, the close of the candlesticks, and all that. Now we've talked about what the strategy consists of. Let's look at what traders or what kind of traders this strategy is suitable for. And as you can see, we have all level traders, all type of traders, because it's a zone trading strategy. What this means is when you go to the lower time frames, right? Let's say the 5-minute time frame. How many of us are scalpers and day traders? Let me know in the chat. If you're a scalper or you're a day trader, let me know in the chat. And if you don't know what this style of trading is, that's no problem. I would explain it to you guys better. What is your trading style? If you know your trading style, let me know in the chat. If you don't know your trading style, that's fine. I'll explain them to you and then you know exactly where you fall in. Okay? So the day traders are the traders that look to enter and exit the market within a day. So they look to close their trades within the day. The swing traders look to hold the trades for a longer period of time, like days, weeks, even a month sometimes. The scalpers look to enter and exit within minutes. So they just get in, they're the get in and get out type of traders. And then we have the position traders that hold the trades for a longer period of time. We're talking about months, even years. Okay. Now, regardless of the time frame, if you're a position trader, if you trade monthly or using the monthly time frame, or you trade using the 30 seconds time frame, you are always going to find a zone. You're always going to find a level of supply and a level of demand, which is a zone. An area of support and resistance is a zone. Consecutive higher highs and higher lows is a trend, which is also a key level. When you draw across the lows of the uptrend on the support level, that's also a key level, right? So regardless of the time frame, you would always see a zone, a key level or a zone in this time frame, so which is why the zone trading strategy is suitable for any type of trader. Now, if you don't know what type of trader you are, I believe now you know the kind of trader you are. And if you're still trying to find your way around it, I'll give you a quick tip. Try to focus more on, strategies and instruments, assets, currencies that move in your personality. So, for example, if you're a patient person, then you would go for the low liquid, or exotic currency pairs. You can also go for swing trading strategy because you're patient. You can wait for your trades to be done in a couple of days or even weeks. But if you're an impatient person, if that's your personality, you might still understand how to hold trades, but it's going to take you some time. It's going to be difficult for you to understand because naturally you're impatient. And imagine teaching an impatient person how to hold trades for weeks. And the person is going to be leaning more to the scalping day trading style of trading before they finally adjust, right? So you can start with the one that fits your personality, and over time you can diverse. All right. Okay, I see. Michael says he's a day trader. Oliver says, I wish I know how to properly identify. Well, I hope you don't leave this session, because by the end of this session, obviously, when I go to the practical and live trading session or section, you definitely understand how to identify these key levels. Okay, so stick around. Kizito says he's a scalper. Kizito says he's still new in the system. Well, it's good that it's a good thing, and again, congratulations on becoming a new trader. Over time, I believe right now you understand what style of trading would suit you, and over time, you get to balance it and correlate that with the pairs that you'll be trading, strategies that you'll be using, and you see it work out for you. Um, Oliver is talking about how to identify support and resistance. We're going to talk about that in the practical session. Stick around, guys. Stick around to learn and understand how to identify these key levels in the chart. So when do you use this strategy? During volatile sessions and after major news events. Volatile sessions, again, the key word here is sessions. I'm not saying during volatile trading time or during high volatility, during volatile sessions. Now, a volatile session is basically when, or it's also called an overlapping session. We have sessions in the market, the Tokyo, the London, the New York session, the Sydney session, all that. When the New York session overlaps with the London session, because the London session starts and then the New York session starts while the London session is still open, that can be a moment of volatility as well. All right. A quick tip would be to avoid trying to identify support and resistance during news events. You wait for the major event to be released. The market is going to calm down a bit and show you these areas of supply and demand. If you try to get in while the news is being released, it's going to be very, very, well, it could end up in a way that you don't expect, because, the market moves wildly up and down during news events, and you don't want to be caught up in that mix, okay? All right, we're going to go straight to the live trading session right now. But if you have any questions concerning the explanation and the strategy, trading style, when to use it, how to use it, what is included in it, if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. All right, guys. So before I go over to the trading chart right now, give me a second. Okay, we're going to first start up with the economic calendar, the Octa economic calendar. Very good tool, very amazing if you're new to trading, and even if you're an existing or a trader that is at the intermediate levels. It's good that you understand how economic influences, or how the economy of a country influences the domestic currency of that country, and even other currencies as well, right? So the basic idea of understanding economic calendar, or understanding the stability and instability of different economies, is to know which economy is strong and which economy is weak. Strong economy would boost the domestic currency. For example, if the US economy is strong, it's going to also have an impact on the dollar, which is going to make the dollar strong, right? If the economy of Australia is weak, it's also going to have an impact on the Australian dollar, which would make it weak. What do? Weak Australian dollar, strong US dollar. Which one do you want to buy? Which one do you want to sell? Obviously, you're going to buy the one that is strong and sell the one that is weak. So you're basically looking at different economies to identify their strength and weakness and capitalize on it using technical analysis or using your charts. Okay. So this is the Octa economic calendar with a lot of economic events. This is restricted to only high impact events, but if you're a beginner trader, you can always add low and medium impact. And then when you do that, what happens is you get an idea of all the events that will be released that day, and see if there's anyone that would impact your trading, or for the low impact events, just to get the knowledge and know what this means for the domestic currency. But going back to high impact events, you see that it's very limited. If you don't understand exactly what these things mean, I would explain them to you so you can understand better and do this analysis on your own. Okay, but first things first, when you get to Octa economic calendar, which is going to be on the Octa official website under analysis and education, you come down to analytics, and here you can find the Octa economic calendar. You want to make sure the time zone is set to your current time zone, right? So obviously, if you're in Hawaii, then you want to use the GMT -10, right? Just use the time zone for the location you're in. The reason for that is because you don't want to miss out on these events. If I use a different time zone, I'll probably, or if I make a mistake with my time zone, I'll probably miss out on the events, and that would not be good for my open positions or my open trades, right? Okay. So now the first economic event that we had today, this was at 12 midnight, was the Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Bullock's speech. Let me see if you have any questions in the comments. Okay, we don't. The Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Bullock's speech. Now, this speech today was, well, she gave the speech focusing on Australia's economic outlook, and she emphasized that inflation is still above the target range, especially the service inflation, which is above 5%, but they are not ready to cut the interest rate yet. Now, one of the importance of keeping up with these speeches and what they say is it helps you understand their stance on monetary policy and also the interest rates. These things are interconnected, right? The fundamentals, the economy is a major driver for the domestic currency. Okay, and that's why it's important that you understand what the governor of the banks are saying and how they would impact the domestic currency. So the speech today in summary just gives us the idea that the Reserve Bank of Australia is cautious about cutting interest rates because the inflation is still higher than their target. So what you're going to do as a trader, if you're trading Australian dollars, is you're going to keep an eye on inflation and labor market data, because the Reserve Bank of Australia is going to hold off on cutting interest rates unless inflation drops, sustainably, basically. And guys, at any point in time, if you have any question, please let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to answer all your questions. I just want to make sure you guys understand exactly how to read the economic calendar. Now, one of the ways you can also get a definition of which economic event is being released and what it would mean is to click on this events. Any of the events, you click on it. Octa has an already defined explanation for you to understand what the event means and how you can capitalize on it. By how you can capitalize on it, I'm talking about this last sentence here, where it says a decrease in the figure is seen as bullish for the Australian dollar, while an increase is seen as bearish. All right. So let's break down the today's employment data from Australia in simple terms. Now, the Australian unemployment rate stayed steady at 4.1%. As you can see, the previous was 4.1%. The economist forecast and Octa's forecast was for 4.1% as well. And you can see that the actual came out to be 4.1%. This means that the percentage of people that are actively looking for jobs but not finding them hasn't changed from last month. All right, if you look here closely, you'd see October. This report is for October. Now, what does this report mean? It shows us that it's a sign that the job market is stable right now. It's not growing. It's not shrinking, dramatically. It's just stable. And what's also interesting is that more jobs were added, but most of these jobs were part-time positions. Full-time jobs stayed the same. Now, as a beginner trader, if you're trading the Australian dollars, when the unemployment rate is stable, it shows that the economy is holding up, is staying strong, and this can support the value of the Australian dollar. I'm going to go over to the chart, and we're going to look at GBP USD, Euro USD, and also AUD USD as well. Okay, so if you're trading AUD pairs, keep an eye on how the markets react. Look out for, like I said, comments from the Reserve Bank of Australia. Try to find out if they hint at raising the interest rates due to a stable job market. And if they do that, then the Australian dollar might gain strength. But if global events like US monetary policy or China's or Chinese economic news overshadow this data, then the Australian dollar may not move as much. Okay, the next one would be the gross domestic product, quarter over quarter. And again, guys, you can always click and understand what each economic event means and what their reports and what their reports would mean and how it would influence the domestic currency which we have here. This is going to influence the euro. And if you don't know what GDP is the total value of goods and services produced within a region. Now, regardless of the nationality of the owner, it's also going to be calculated with the country's GDP. Okay, so if somebody from Japan produces products in Nigeria, regardless of where they're from, it's going to be added to Nigeria's GDP. Okay, and the GDP is one of the most important indicators of economic growth or economic health. If the GDP grows, it means the economy is expanding, and this is usually good for the currency. But if the GDP shrinks or you get lesser reports, lesser value, it signals economic trouble. And what does it mean? It can weaken the currency. Now, we had two important figures that were released into the Eurozone. We had quarter over quarter, which is what you see here, and it shows you how much the economy grew compared to the previous quarter. And then we also have year over year, which compares the current GDP to the same period last year. Okay, now what does this number mean? Remember, the last sentence shows you, generally speaking, a rise in this indicator is bullish for the euro, while a low reading is seen as bearish. Now, if we have a better than expected GDP growth, it shows you that the eurozone is handling global economic challenges well, or fairly well, and it can make the euro more attractive to investors. Okay, a stronger GDP growth would influence the European Central Bank to maintain or tighten whatever policy they have, and this would support the value of the euro. But I don't think we're going to see much of an impact in the euro based off this report, because we had a stable report on the GDP today. But as a beginner trader, or generally as a trader, after the GDP data is released, you want to watch the market reaction. You want to trade or react based on what the market has done, and then you react. Okay, don't rush into trades. Watch how the data plays into larger trends over a couple of time, and then you trade accordingly. The next economic event that we had today around 2:30 was producer price index, which is the PPI. And today the PPI, what you see here, EX food and energy, is excluding food and energy year over year. This report is very important for you as a trader. It's not something that you want to neglect. Okay, it's important because it shows you how much producers are charging for goods and services. When this number goes up, just like it did today, 3.1% compared to 2.8 plus 2.84 from last month. When the number goes up, it shows you that inflation is at the wholesale level. Okay, and finally, we have speeches from the central bank, the U.S. Federal Reserve, the governor of the Federal Reserve, Jeremy Powell, and the Bank of England's governor as well, Bailey. We have speeches from them. And like I told you guys, it's important to pay attention to these speeches. You have to understand that the central bank governor speeches are a big deal in the world of trading, because they can give you clue about future decisions, like if the interest rates might go up or down, stance on monetary policy. When a central bank governor talks about raising rates, it can make a country's currency stronger, because higher rates would attract more investors. But if they suggest on lowering, the rates or reducing rates, then the currency might, reduce in value or weaken. So as a trader, you want to watch these speeches. Don't ignore them. You want to watch them closely to figure out how the market will react. If a governor hints that the economy is growing and the rates might go up, then traders might buy that currency, country's currency, because they expect it to increase in value. But if the governor signals worries about the economy, traders might try to avoid that currency. All right. So in summary, the central bank speeches, or the speeches from these governors, they will help you predict what will happen to a currency's value in the long term. So paying attention to them can help you make better trading decisions. All right. So that's it for the economic calendar. Let me know in the chat if you guys understood, and we're going to go straight to the chart right now. All right. Let me know in the chat if you guys understood the analysis, the fundamental analysis, and then we're going to go over to the live chart. Kemi says, good evening, Sir Rod, and I thank God I'm a trader and I don't regret it. That's a really awesome feedback, and that's also a really awesome thing to hear. And I hope that you stay true to your strategies, you stay true to the steps and the important things you've set in place for yourself as a beginner trader, right? And if you're not a beginner trader, then I still hope that you stay true to yourself, you stay true to the plans and the goals, the targets and the guidelines you've set for yourself. And I hope that over time you achieve the results that you want from the Forex market. Okay, we're going to go to the Octa trading platform right now. Right now, we're going to look at the Octa trading platform. If you do not have an account with Octa, after this session, check the link in the description. You can click on that and you can create an account with Octa right. Well, we're going to start from the left-hand side and then we're going to go to the right-hand side. Okay, let's make this bright. See clearly. All right, perfect. I mean, whichever one you prefer, you can always change from light to dark. But for this explanation purpose, we're going to use light, okay? Now, over here, we have where you can make a deposit, withdraw, transfer from multiple trading accounts, your operation history, and direct access to the economic calendar. And here, right, we have the instruments that you can trade. If you want to make a trade on, let's say you want to make a trade on gold, you can click on metals. And you have gold and silver indices. You have NASDAQ, US 30, SPX 500, all that. We also have energies like oil, and these are Brent, and these are things that you can take advantage of. You have a lot of instruments on here that you can take advantage of, and whichever one you trade more often, you can always click on the star icon and it becomes your favorite instrument. So you don't always have to search for it. You can just come here, click on the star icon and access your favorite instrument. I love to trade gold, okay? As you can see, I already have open trades on gold as well. I love to trade gold, and that's why you're seeing that gold is number one on my list. All right, so that's for this. And in the main chart, right, we have, you can always change this, right? We have the candlestick chart pattern right here, okay? Candlestick chart pattern over here. We have the one click option where you can instantly buy or sell. Over here, you can reduce the lot size with this. You can edit it, type in whatever lot size you want to type, But guys, make sure that when you're identifying your lot size, make sure you're doing proper calculations. You can use the Octa profit calculator. Just make sure that you're within your risk margin, okay, or your risk tolerance. All right, we have alerts information on the charts. We have any alerts if you want to place an alert on any particular price. We have the different time frames that you can trade. You can create a new order here, buy or sell. You have access to this amazing tool. I'm going to show you guys how it works, okay? This tool automatically helps you identify a pattern on your chart. I don't think we have a pattern now, but what it does is it automatically helps you identify a pattern on your chart. There's no available pattern right now. Let me see if I go to the 15 minutes. Let's see if we have any pattern on the 15 minutes. Let's see if you can identify any pattern. Okay, none. But what the tool does, it helps you identify automatically a double top, a triple top, all that. Then you have access to indicators as well, the moving averages, stochastic, relative strength index, the RSI, MACD, ADX, all that. You also have access to multiple tools, the trend line, the extended line, the objects that you want to use. And you can always delete, if you want to delete indicators from the chart, or you want to delete any of your tools that you have. So let's say I have a trend line and I just draw a trend line on here, right? Let's change the color from this to red so you guys can see it. Okay, let's use gray. And I want to delete this. I just go over to this point, go to drawing tools, delete, trend line is gone. Okay, awesome. So you can do your analysis on the Octa charts on the Octa Trader platform with these tools. You have access to indicators as well. And over here, you can see the results of your trades, right? You can see it here. If you want to close, let's see. Let's If you want to close, you can always click on this X button and it automatically closes your trades. That's if you want to close your trades, guys. You can always do that and automatically. So let me give you guys an example. So let's say I want to close this. What I do is I click on X and boom, automatically closed the trade. Okay. All right. And finally, well, not finally, I'll save it for last. I saved the best for last. Okay. Let's talk about this one, the one we have up here. Margin, free margin, margin level, equity, floating profit, all this. So guys, the equity tells you the amount you would have if you close your open positions. The equity tells you the amount you would have if you close any of your open positions. So if you're running at a loss, this is the amount you would have. Free margin tells you the amount you have to open more trades. Your margin level, if it increases, then it's good. If it reduces, then it's not really good. The lower it gets, if I should say, the better for you. But then we have open trades here. Here's for pending orders, and here's for closed trades to see the trades that you've closed. And like I said, save the best for last, right? If you look here, you'll see that we have space. And space is an amazing feature that you can use as a trader to identify what expert traders are saying on the chart, what they are seeing, the analysis, everything. So if you look on here, you see this analysis from GBP JPY on 14th November. This is updated every day, different currencies. And you can see the pattern was shown. And one of the ways this can help you is you can use this to combine with your already done analysis and improve your trading strategy. Okay. So this can be a confirmation for you to know if you should even continue to hold a position or close the position. So guys, make sure that you take advantage of space, Octa Space. You can only access Octa Space if you use Octa Trader. Please keep that in mind. You can only access space or the space feature over here if you use Octa Trader. If you create an MT4 account, you won't have access to space. So after the live session, make sure you click the link in the description to access Octa Space. All right, guys, right about now. Okay, there's a link in the live chat. Okay, there's a link in the live chat now. I can see you can click that to access the web version of Octa Trader. All right. Let's go to. All right, guys. Right about now, this section. Guys, give me. All right. Just checking to see if you guys have any questions for me. Okay, guys. While I wait for your questions, we're going to look at the summary. We talked about the ZapZone strategy. I showed you guys exactly how it works, when to use it, and how to use it. Okay, what type of traders it's for as well. And we also looked at the Octa Trader platform and the amazing tools that we have on the Octa Trader platform. And we talked about some principles and how you can use these tools to your own trading advantage. Now, some of the key takeaways I want you guys to take out from this session is try to analyze these instruments to understand how they behave under various market conditions. Review your actions and reflect on your decisions to identify what worked well and what can be improved on. Because if you don't do this, if you don't look at what worked well, what you need to stop doing, what you want to improve on, over time, you wouldn't be able to track your progress and see if you're performing properly. Keep up with the latest market news and updates. You can do this with Octa Trader, the app, and also the economic calendar, and use economic or educational resources rather, like this one you're watching right now, and other webinars and live training sessions that we have here on the Octa channel to improve your understanding of strategies and the tools that we have in the Octa app. I'm going to check again to see if you guys have any questions. And why is it that Space mostly drop the updates when the chart has already started playing out? So like I said, it's an analysis, okay? So the analysis is done and posted. And then you can combine that with your own strategy, all right? All right, guys, this was an interesting and amazing session that I had with you guys today. Super, super amazing session. I love the fact that you guys asked some questions. I didn't really get enough questions today, but I will assume that you guys understood the explanation and the analysis properly. That's what I'm going to believe, because I don't have so much questions today. So I believe you guys understood the analysis and all the explanations that were done. But if you're just watching this and you have any questions, please ask your questions in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Guys, we value your feedback, so please take a moment to fill out our survey. Your feedback is very essential for us to improve our future webinars and live trading sessions. It's going to take only 1 minute of your time. You can scan the QR code or you can use the link in the description to give us this feedback. Thank you guys so much for joining this session today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.